Come here. Hop up. Hop up. Hop up. Hop up. Hop up. Where's your toy? Oh. Grab it. Ooh. Play with the toy. Play with the toy. Alright. Go lay down. Hello, my name is Gavin Nissen, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be talking about all of the guitars that I have ever owned. I'm going to show off some of the guitars that I have currently, maybe some B-roll. I can't move my eyebrows. But yeah, there's one guitar I can't show the back of, and I'll get to that later, but I definitely can't show the back of that guitar. And then there's one that I cannot show currently because one of them is going to be in a video, and I have to make the video about the guitar before I show anything about it. I've shown two of these guitars in my latest video, and then I talked about one of the guitars in my first video. So we're going to go over everything. Going to start all the way from the beginning and go through the entire... I have a list right here of all the guitars I have ever owned. So we're going to go through the list, all of the specs about them and everything like that. And yeah, let's start. So starting off first, this is my Jasmine S3S Dreadnought. This is the first guitar I ever got. This was my dad's guitar, and he gave it to me on Christmas. I bet you guys remember that story. So yeah, I'll play a little bit and let you guys hear it, and then I'll talk about the specs and everything about it. So yeah, I have had this guitar for a very, very, very long time. It has a spruce top, satin finish, 20 frets, a rosewood fingerboard, pearloid dot inlays, and a rosewood bridge. I've had this thing for so long that the neck is kind of starting to twist, and I haven't been taking very good care of it because I'm a bad parent. Not only that, I don't know if I'll be able to... I'll take a picture of it, but the neck is slowly starting to peel away from the body. So I have retired this guitar. It is going to stay in a case. I'll pull it out from time to time, but it is going to stay in a case. It has too many memories. I have put too many hours into this guitar. I cannot get rid of it, and someday it'll be hanging up in the background of my studio eventually. Oh yeah, this thing has so many dents. This guitar has been put through the ringer. I have put... most of my hours on guitar has been put into this guitar, and it shows. But yeah, I got this guitar when I was roughly 8 or 9 years old, and then when I actually started learning to teach myself how to play the guitar, I picked it back up when I was 14, pulled it out of a case underneath my bed, and here we are now. Gotta put it back. Alright, so that was my first guitar, and then now we are going to talk about my first electric guitar, which in my last video, I rambled on about how much I hate Amazon package deals and how much they suck and that they're bad, and don't get them because they're bad. But when I had this guitar, my whole idea was to part it out. I shoved it into my closet, never touched it again because I got better ones, and I was graduating high school. And instead, like, everybody always gets the books, and people sign the books and say, have a great life, don't go bankrupt, and shit like that. So I had the great idea to sand it down, spray paint the body, all black, and I would have people sign it with gold and silver Sharpies as the guest book. And I thought that we lost it and couldn't find it anywhere. And I recently just went to my parents' house, and they had it. And so I brought it here because I have some plans for it. I have some really cool plans for it, and I think you guys are going to like it. This is the guitar I can only show the front. The back of it has some major foul language. But yeah, this is the current state of the guitar. It has a bunch of signatures on it. I'll do a little one of these. Huh! All right. I don't think anybody can read that, even if you paused it, so We're going to hope for the best. Has everybody's signatures on it. The back of it, I mean, even like, the sides have shit on it too. I'm going to clear coat it and make sure that the signatures stay and everything like that. And then I have some plans for this guitar, and I think you guys are going to like it a lot. But I'm going to put it down before I smudge the signatures. Let's talk about this guitar real quick. I have absolutely no specs for this guitar. Only what's in my brain. The memory of the guitar and the nightmare that it was. The neck is absolute garbage. It's so fucking bad. It feels like it just feels like a plank of wood you got at a lumber yard. Like, it's not sanded down at all. The frets were sticking out and cutting my fingers open when I was a kid. The intonation on the guitar was terrible, and you could barely intonate it on the bridge. It fucking sucked. Very hard to keep in tune. If you bent the string at all, it would detune, and it was a nightmare. Again, they seem like good deals, and they seem like they're great. They're not. Please, if you're a parent and your kid wants to play the guitar, please go watch my last video where I talk about building a guitar setup on a budget for children or people getting into the guitar. So yeah, that was my first electric guitar, and then I rocked the amp that came with it. Again, it's the bundle. It was a BC guitar. I don't know if I will ever be able to find a picture of this, or I'll Google it, and if I do, I'll pop a picture up, but I doubt it because the last video I tried and I couldn't find it. But after that, I was rocking the amp for a while, and then I forget what amp it was, but I got a Fender amp. I know I have videos of it, but it was like, I think it was like a 10 to 20 watt amp, and on the top of it you had like rock, metal, clean, reverb, and then you could select one of those, and then you had the volume, the bass, middle, high, and you could fluctuate everything. And super nice amp. I got that, played it with that guitar for a little bit, and then I was like, I can't fucking handle this, so I saved up my money to get another guitar, which was a Schecter 430 C6 Deluxe, which I talked about in my last video. I think it was either my last video or the video of me coming back. I don't remember. I think it was my last video. But that guitar was a great budget guitar, especially with the Fender amp that I had, which I upgraded later down the road, and I majorly upgraded after that amp. But for the time being, that amp and that guitar, I think I spent like close to $200 on the guitar at the time, and then the amp, I think I spent $100. So roughly $300. I don't really remember. I don't have the receipts either. But the Schecter 430 C6 Deluxe had a basswood body, a maple neck, a rosewood fretboard, a matte black finish, and it had double humbuckers. This was a fantastic guitar. I love this guitar. I wish I still had it, and I wish I upgraded the pickups and everything like that. It was great. It rocked. I definitely have videos and pictures of this guitar. I'll have to go through my phone and find them. In my first video, I showed coming back to YouTube video, I showed a video of me playing the national anthem for the first time. You can barely see me. I'm wearing this yellow and black and white sweater, and I had long blonde hair that was shaved on the sides because I thought it was cool, and it's not. But this was the guitar that I was using for that performance, and I know I have I have hundreds of videos with this guitar. The only problem I had with this guitar was that the input jack was always coming undone. No matter how much I tightened it, it would always come done eventually. It's not a hard thing to fix. It's just really annoying. But yeah, I loved that guitar. That was a great guitar. Now, during that time when I had that guitar, I had a 100 watt Fender Mustang GT amp with, I think, the 200, it was either 200 or 400 presets. I don't remember. I have a very grainy picture of this amp somewhere, and you don't see the full thing. But that was the big first hefty purchase I ever made towards gear. And let me tell you, I used the fuck out of that amp. I love that amp. That was actually the amp that I used for the first performance of the national anthem. And oh my God, dude. The main reason why I got that amp was because I knew I was doing the national anthem, and I knew that 10 or 20 watt wasn't going to do it. So I got the 100 watt amp, and that thing was loud. And I specifically remember I got rid of the 20 watt because I I gave the 20 watt to my cousin because he wanted to start learning the guitar. So he had a guitar. I gave him the 20 watt amp, and I bought this one. Me being a kid, you could not get me away from the guitar. I was playing constantly, and I would try to turn the amp up as quiet as it possibly could to where I could barely hear it. To where like if you move the dial just a little bit, you can hear it. And I would play at like 9 o'clock at night, 9 or 10 o'clock at night. My mom would be like, "Dude, shut the fuck up and go to bed. You have school tomorrow, dumbass." But yeah, I always thought that was funny, and we laugh about that to this day. But the next guitar after the Schecter was oh my god, an Ibanez GAX 30 in transparent cherry. I tried to say that 3 times and I couldn't figure it out. In the early stages, I used the guitars that I used them a lot. And then I got one specific guitar, and that was the only guitar I ever used, and I would just get gear from here and there just to have different guitars and get different sounds. But this one, I use this one a lot. This guitar has a rosewood fretboard, a mahogany body, a JAX maple neck with double humbuckers. I loved this guitar. I loved the way that it played. Again, as a kid, I loved Les Pauls, and I always wanted a Les Paul, but I never had Les Paul money, so I got this because it kind of looked like a Les Paul and was a lot lighter than a Les Paul. The only problem I had with this guitar was if you were doing scales or anything like that, or I remember what my original version of the national anthem that I did would go up to the high E string, and if you moved it at all, it would roll off the neck. So I had to rewrite a completely different version, which is the version that I play now. That was the only problem with this guitar. I'm not going to lie. My camera just died, and I forgot what I was talking about. So we're going to move on to the next guitar. The next guitar I got was an Ibanez PC1S Performance Series Grand Concert Acoustic. Now, when I got this guitar, one of my mom's friends came over to the house, and she knew that I played the guitar, and asked if I can tune the guitar for her and put new strings on it and get it set up. And I said, sure. Tuned it up, put new strings on it, and got it all set up, and she never came to pick it up. So I got a new guitar, I guess. This guitar has a spruce top, a Nandu wood fretboard and bridge, white dot inlays, and 20 frets. I don't really remember very much about this guitar. I remember at the time I had the Jasmine, and this one, I would play the Jasmine more often than I would play this one, but I would still play it. Very nice guitar. I currently don't have it anymore. And I think when I was looking up all the specs for it, I don't think they make this guitar anymore. I tried to find it on Sweetwater and Reverb and the Guitar Center app, and I just couldn't find it anywhere. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I gave it to one of my buddies who wanted to learn how to play the guitar. Don't worry. I talked to her about it. She knows that she forgot about the guitar and pretty much said that it was mine. She pretty much gave it to me, so it all worked out in the end. But yeah, I don't really have too much to say about this guitar. I don't really remember it that much, and I don't think I played it very often. So let's move on to the next. The next guitar I had was an Ibanez G10 GRGA 120 QA in transparent blue burst demo. I did not like this guitar. If I find the video for it, I made an entire, when I first started making this YouTube channel, I actually made a video about this guitar, and I did a cover with this guitar. I think it was Roddy Ricch the Box, which I don't know what the I was thinking. Oh, I remember watching, I think his name is like Charles Flags or something like that. I watched him do a cover of The Box, and he did the vocal line for Roddy Ricch the Box. And I thought it'd be cool if I did the same thing, and it went horribly wrong. I hate that video. And the second I bent the B string, I'm pretty sure it was either the G or the B string, it went way out of tune, and it just made the entire cover bad, and I didn't want to record it again apparently, and it was awful. Kind of the same thing with the Amazon one. The neck felt like it was an unprocessed piece of wood. I don't really know how to explain it. It was like if you just slapped a 2x4 on to your guitar and didn't do anything with the frets or anything. I did not like this guitar. When I got it, I remember that the guitar neck was bowed way the fuck out, and I tried to set it up myself. I wasn't that good at setting guitars up besides putting strings on. Slightly adjusting the truss slot wad, slightly adjusting the truss rod to where it would play to the specifications that I wanted. If it was that far out, I didn't trust it. I took it to Guitar Center to get it set up, and even then it didn't play very well. It had a poplar body, a quilted maple top, a maple neck, a purple heart fingerboard, 2 humbucker pickups. In my opinion, I wouldn't get this guitar. It looks cool. It looks awesome. I think it was the first guitar I got with a whammy bar, because I'm pretty sure the BC guitar, the Amazon guitar, did not come with a whammy bar when it was supposed to, and it didn't. And then the Schecter was a solid bridge, or it was a bolt-on bridge, or whatever you want, however you want to say it. But the bridge didn't move. So this was the first guitar that I got with a whammy bar, and I could not use it because whenever I try to do anything with the whammy bar, it would go out of tune like that. So it was completely pointless. I bet if I took better care of it, and I don't think Guitar Center set it up very well, so I bet if I took it somewhere else and got it set up better, it probably would have played a lot easier. And I didn't like this guitar. I sold it pretty quickly after I got it, and that was that. This next guitar, though, I used for everything. People say when guitars have mojo, they have mojo. This one had mojo. A lot of it. I remember we were hanging out with my buddy Vladimir, who was a foreign exchange student who came to America. We became very good friends. Vlad, if you're watching this, I fucking love you. Please come back to America at some point and hang out with me. But I was hanging out with him and my buddy Adam, and we went to Dietz Music Store, which I talked about in a prior video. But I would go there and I would look at the used section, because the used section sometimes have gold that people just don't realize that they have. Oh, I don't remember what the YouTube channel was, but at the time, I was really into My Chemical Romance, and I watched this guy. If I find the video, I'll pop it up somewhere, and I'll put the link into the description for the video. But I was watching him play the songs Teenager by My Chemical Romance on the guitar. I fell in love with the guitar that he had. I think it was Teenagers, or if it was something else, but it was a Yamaha Pacifica, and I fell in love with this guitar. And so we went into Dietz, and we were looking through the used section, and I saw one, and it was for $80. And I was like, oh my God, I don't have my cash on me. I'm driving all the way back to my house, which was a 30-minute drive back to my house, and then a 30-minute drive back to Dietz Music Store. And I got the guitar and immediately fell in love with it. Ooh, I love this guitar. The specific name for the guitar was a Yamaha Pac 012 Pacifica. It had a mahogany body, a maple neck, a rosewood fingerboard, 2 single coil pickups, and 1 humbucker pickup. I loved this guitar. I know I've said it 1,000 times already. This guitar meant everything to me. I did recently sell it. I did recently get rid of it. I kind of fell out of love with it, but during the time, this was the guitar I used for everything, whether it was super clean, like John Mayer, Slow Dancing in a Burning Room, or if it was learning how to play Polyphia songs, or any rock and roll song. Pretty much I use this thing constantly. If I ever find one again, I'm probably gonna get another Yamaha Pacifica, because I don't know what it was about that guitar, but it was fantastic. And if I find one that feels the same and plays the same way, I will probably get another one. But the next guitar that I got was a Washburn Oscar Schmidt Delta King OE30. I remember walking into Guitar Center, and I think, no, it was Dietz. I remember walking into Dietz and seeing this guitar, and I think it was like $100, $150, somewhere around there. I've never had a semi-hollow body guitar before. Me and my girlfriend went into Dietz that day, and I played around on it for a little bit, and she was even like, yo, you should get this thing, because it's, for the price and the way that it sounded, was, oh, it was so fucking good. I did a cover of the intro to Tuesday's Gone by Leonard Skinner. I'll pop it up right now. I love that guitar. For the specs of this guitar: classic semi-hollow body style with a mahogany double cutaway, maple bolt-on neck, rosewood fingerboard, 2-nomatic bridge with a stop tail piece, 2 volume and 2 control knobs, a 3-way pickup selector, chrome die-cast tuners, and 2 humbucker pickups. It was a great guitar for a couple months, and it just wasn't really the thing that I was looking for, so I also got rid of that. And I think I got more money than I paid for it. So it was a win-win. I've never had a semi-hollow body guitar before, so I just wanted to try it out. It's not my thing. I will probably get another one for the collection just because I have some, so I can have some diversity. They're not really my thing, so I got rid of it and I got more money. I made a profit off of it, so it all worked out in the end. So during that time when I got the Washburn, I started to sell pretty much everything because I didn't think the guitar was going anywhere. And then Emmanuel called me and I needed to get a guitar fast. I had a limited budget of like $500, and so I still had my amp, thank God, but I needed a guitar quick. So I got an Ibanez AZES, and I will be definitely getting one of these again, especially for the price that I got it for. I'll pop the price up right here. I don't know if it went up or went down. I think I spent like $300 on this guitar, but this was the guitar that I played the national anthem for the first time at Baxter, and oh, it did the job. And I had it for a while, and my brain just focuses on specific styles of music for like months or a couple months, and then I start focusing on a different style of music. So you'll see that the guitars I'm getting and getting rid of are those guitars that I'll play this guitar for like 3 or 4 months, and then I get sick and tired of that style of music, and then I'll go and get a different guitar for a different style of music. And it's dumb, I know, I'm stupid, but that's not happening anymore. All of the guitars I'm getting from now on are going to stay in the collection unless, you know, I have too many of one kind or whatever. But the specs on this guitar: it had a poplar body, a maple neck, a Jatoba fingerboard, 2 single coil pickups, 1 humbucker pickup, a tremolo bridge in the color purest blue. This guitar was great, and I'm sad I got rid of it. The next guitar I got, I sold the Ibanez AZES for, and I have wanted one of these guitars for a very long time. And it's very sad that the guitar that I bought wasn't the greatest, but it is what it is. And I definitely did love this guitar. The next guitar I got was an Epiphone Les Paul Studio Ebony Demo. This guitar has a story, and I kind of got rid of it out of spite. But so I got this guitar because I love Les Pauls and I wanted a Les Paul, and I knew that I was going to be doing Baxter again. So I wanted to get something a little bit more powerful with a higher output pickup, and so I wanted to get the Les Paul. So we go to Guitar Center, and I find this all black Les Paul. I think it had silver everything, but it was an all black Les Paul. I love all black guitars. I don't like the poppy, flashy colors. I'm a very minimalistic color kind of guy. So I saw this one and I was like, dude, I'm getting this guitar. So I got it, and I got the warranty package on it, that if anything happened to this guitar, whether it was the neck was starting to whatever, whether I had problems with the neck or the electronics or anything like that, they would just give me either a new one if they couldn't fix it, or they would fix the problem that I had. So I grabbed the guitar. It was listed for like $550, and the price tag on it, I walked up to the counter with it and I was like, hey, I want this guitar. Can I get the guitar? Like, sure, man. If you got the money, I'll let you have it. Blah, blah, blah. So they're scanning it, and when they scanned it, it kept popping up with a different price, and it was like, it kept popping up with a price tag of $250. And they're like, dude, we're just going to give you this thing for $250. It keeps popping up that way, so we're just going to give it to you. And I was like, oh, shit, okay, that's cool. I'll get a hard case for it while we're at it. So I got the hard case. I got the guitar, brought it home, and I started practicing for the national anthem. I started to notice, like, within a week of me having this guitar, the high E string started to like fret out a little bit when I wasn't fretting. So I was like, okay, that's weird. So I tried to fix it myself. I put some graphite in the nut to loosen it up, see if that was the problem. It wasn't. I tried to intonate it. I tried to move the neck. I tried to adjust the truss rod. Nothing was working. So I took it back to Guitar Center, and I was like, hey, I think my neck is starting to twist on my Les Paul that I literally just bought like 2 or 3 weeks ago. They're like,
okay, cool. Did you buy the warranty?
And I was like, yeah, I bought the warranty. They're like, okay,
cool. What's your name?
Gave them my name. They saw that I had the warranty, and then I took it to the technician, and it was there for a day or two, and they were like,
yeah, we can't fix this.
And I was like, okay, give me a new guitar then. They're like,
Yeah, we can't do that.
and I was like, okay, what the fuck ever. So I grabbed it, picked it up, and I sold it. I got rid of it because I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. And I sold it for another guitar that's coming up here soon. But the specs on this guitar was a mahogany body, a maple top, a mahogany neck with 2 humbucker pickups. The guitar was great. I had no problems with the guitar besides the neck. I got rid of the guitar out of spite because I am a petty person. I just really did not want to deal with this thing anymore. So I took it to the competitor, Dietz Music Store. I'm going to be talking about them a lot because I love Dietz more than Guitar Center over any day. Don't get me wrong, I love Guitar Center. I personally love local business for my guitars more than I love the corporate Guitar Center. The people at Dietz Music Store help me out more than anybody at Guitar Center, and I love Dietz. Dietz is amazing. I sold it at Dietz, and they were like, do you want to sell it or trade it? And I was like, ooh, I could trade it. I could do that. And so they're like, all right, go look around and let me know if you find anything you want to trade it for. I found this trans red quilted Dean Cadillac. And at the time, me and Zach, my best friend, we have been listening to a lot of Pantera, and we started falling in love with Dimebag a lot. And so I walked over there, saw the Dean logo, and I was like, ooh, shit, it's a Dean. We had an argument at Dietz where it was like, he really wanted the guitar, and I really wanted the guitar. And our buddy Ethan was with us at the time, and he was like, bro, just flip a coin for it at this point. So we did the best 2 out of 3. And so Zach picked, I think it was heads or something, and it did tails all 3 times. So he was like, all right, the guitar gods don't want me to have this guitar. And then I was like, okay, I am also picking heads. After the first and second flip, they were both heads. I got the guitar. But it had a solid mahogany body, a solid maple arch top, set in mahogany neck, 22 fret rosewood fretboard, 2-nomatic bridge with a stop tail, gold Grover tuners, gold hardware, 2 Dean Zebra humbucker pickups, 2 volume 2 control knobs, push-pull coil taps on both the tone controls. This is a pretty fucking cool guitar, I'm not going to lie. I've never had a guitar with push-pull pots, and let me tell you, that was pretty fucking cool. But it was a pretty decent guitar. I personally think it was better than Les Paul. That's just my opinion. But anyways, this next guitar is a doozy. This one I found at Guitar Center for pretty cheap, and I bought it. And I've done some things to it. The original guitar that I got, a Squier Classic Vibe 60 Stratocaster in 3-color sunburst. It had a NATO body, a maple neck, an Indian Laurel fingerboard, and 3 single coil pickups. This is what the original guitar looked like. Not a bad guitar. I think I got it for like $100. It's a pretty decent guitar. What I changed on it though, it currently has a roasted maple Fender Strat neck with a Pafero fingerboard, polished chrome Fender locking tuners, polished chrome Fender neck plate, 2 Seymour Duncan SHR 1B hot rails, and a Seymour Duncan SH12 George Lynch Screaming Demon humbucker pickup. This thing fucking rips. Hold on. Oh, like, bro. Come on. This thing's cool. I built this guitar. I put everything on it. I love this guitar, bro. I originally wanted to make a video of me building this guitar, but I took too long to get parts and everything like that, and I just put it together. I recently just got it professionally set up, and oh, dude, I am in love with this guitar. I'll do a little bit of a tone demo for you guys. But yeah, dude, this thing fucking rips. I put everything together myself. I just recently got it professionally set up because I'm still not very good at getting things set up. But I'm never getting rid of this guitar. This is staying in the collection for a very long time. The next guitar, which I currently do not have anymore, is I wanted to try out 7-string guitars. And I originally wanted to get one of the, I think I wanted an 8. I wanted one of the my God. I forget what the budget guitars for Music Man's are, but it was, I'll pull up a picture. I was looking at one a long time ago, but I originally wanted to get their 7 or 8 string. I forget which one it is. So I went there, tried it out, and wasn't really a big fan of it. And then I tried out the Jackson 7-string Dinky JS227. And 1, it was a lot cheaper. And 2, I actually fell in love with this guitar at Guitar Center. It has a poplar body, a maple arch top, maple neck, amaranth fingerboard, and 2 humbucker pickups. Again, I wanted to try out 7-string for a little bit, and I played it for a couple months and got rid of it because it's, I don't know, 7 strings just aren't my thing. I tried it and it wasn't working out for me, so I didn't keep it. The next one is an Affinity Series Telecaster from roughly 2016 to 2023. I don't know what year this is. But yeah, it's my Butterscotch Blonde Telecaster. I played it in one of my other videos. I think the last video I just did, I played it in that video, and it's a good all-around guitar. I mean, I do have some plans for this guitar as well. I do want to get different pickups. I need to replace the pickup switch because I don't know if you guys can see that. Hold on. Can you hear that? It doesn't want to move to different pickups. It's stuck in the bridge pickup right now. So I'm going to have to replace that. I do want to get new electronics. I want to get new pickups. I do want to get a new bridge because this one goes through the bottom, and I'll do a little bit better. Probably gonna do some B-roll of this one too, so you'll see what I'm talking about a little bit better. But I want to get a new bridge, like maybe I don't know. I kind of want to turn this into a classic Telecaster, like a vintage Telecaster. I'm not 100% sure. I do want to upgrade this neck. I don't like this neck. I do not like lighter style necks. I think they look dumb and they look just like 2x4s, and I hate that. So I'm probably gonna get a darker neck on it, and I don't know, maybe I'll do some locking tuners and everything like that. But she's a pretty good guitar. I like her. I got this guitar from one of my buddies for $50. He doesn't play it anymore, or he didn't play it, and was like, hey, do you want this guitar? And I was like, sure, I'll take it. I don't care. So I got it for $50, and it's not bad. I mean, it's got a ding right here, but other than that, I mean, she's mint, bud. And then last but not least is my CD60S Dreadnought by Fender. And I bought this to not replace, but to fill the spot of the Jasmine since I've retired it. Let me see if I can still do this. Hold on. But yeah, I went to Dietz Music Store and I was like, I kind of need an acoustic guitar if I'm gonna retire this one, and went there, saw this one. It was about $100. I mean, I got strings and the guitar for $100. The guy discounted the strings. I love the people at Dietz Music. But this one is a solid spruce top, laminated mahogany back and sides, walnut bridge, walnut fingerboard, and perloy dot inlays. And you know what? It's a good acoustic guitar. This was the acoustic that I wanted to find for the budget build for acoustics, and I just couldn't find it on Sweetwater. So yeah, if you're ever looking for a decent, cheap acoustic guitar, get this Fender. It's amazing, and I have not stopped playing it since I've gotten it. But yeah, that's all the guitars I have ever owned. It's a lot. Oh, there's one that I did forget, and I wanted to see what it was, because I forget. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. This one I had for like 2 weeks. This was during the time I was looking for an acoustic guitar, and you know, one of my favorite guitarists is Tim Henson, and I kept seeing that his nylon string guitar, or I saw the nylon string guitar that he brought out, and I wanted to try it out, and didn't want to spend $800 on that style of guitar. I got the Ibanez FRH-10N thin line nylon acoustic electric guitar, and I had that for 2 weeks. That was the only one that I was missing from the collection. But there you go. Those are all the guitars I've ever owned, and some of the guitars that I've had. I still have one to talk about in the next video. I think I'm going to do that the next video, unless something else comes up. But yeah, I have some plans for these guitars. They're all going to get upgraded. But thank you guys so much for watching again. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Share with your friends. Share with your family. I would greatly appreciate it. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.